They told her not to do it. They warned her again and again. But pride doesn't listen to warnings. It doesn't recognize the edge of the cliff, if until it's too late. She stood in front of cameras, in front of a roaring crowd, and, with a smirk on her face, she uttered words that made hearts tremble and skies darken. She dared to challenge the Creator of the universe. She dared to defy Allah in public. And what happened next left the world speechless. It wasn't just a moment of disbelief, it was a declaration. It was a declaration, a rebellion that pierced the heavens. The crowd around her erupted in mixed reactions. Some laughed nervously, others gasped, and a few stared in horror, understanding the gravity of what had just been said. But she stood tall. Shoulders back, confidence oozing from her every word. If God is real, let him stop me now. If Allah exists, let him strike me down right here. And then, silence. The kind of silence that weighs on your chest like 1,000 stones. It was the stillness before a storm, the quiet before divine justice moves, unseen. She laughed. It wasn't just a laugh. It was mockery, arrogance. Defiance in its purest form. She thought she was untouchable, Pax, that the world would keep spinning in her favor. But what she didn't realize is that when you challenge the most high, you don't just speak into the air. You call upon a response not from man, not from nature, but from the Lord of all that exists. Only a few hours later, everything changed. Her voice, the very voice she used to challenge Allah, was gone, silenced. Medical professionals were baffled. No trauma, no damage, no explanation. Her vocal cords were perfectly healthy, but no sound came out. It was as if the voice had been taken. As if the one she mocked answered her, not with fire or fury, but with silence. A silence that shouted louder than any thunder. And then the visions started. She began to speak, though not with words. Her eyes, wide with fear, tried to communicate what her voice could not. She wrote feverishly on paper. I see things when I close my eyes. Shadows. Fire. Screaming, I can't sleep. I can't breathe. Away. Her hands trembled, as she tried to explain what was happening. Something is following me, watching me. The woman who once laughed at the existence of Allah now lived in terror of what her soul had seen. She thought she was in control, but control is an illusion when you forget who you're challenging. Again furchin me kid. The Qur'an sext, the Qur'an says, do they not see that we come to the land? Reducing it from its borders, is it they who will overcome? Her body remained unharmed. Her health, on paper, was perfect. But her soul, had been shaken by the weight of truth. A truth she had denied with all her might until it stared her in the face. The face. They brought scholars, priests, doctors, even psychologists. None could explain what was happening. None could cure her. For she was trapped. Her mind had been opened to something greater than her arrogance could handle. In her desperation, she wrote again. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to make this stop. And someone whispered a word into her. A name. Allah. She froze. She was reminded of the one she challenged, the one who created her, sustained her, watched her, the one she denied on stages, mocked on air, and cursed in public. But now, she couldn't say his name. Her tongue would not move. Her lips would not form it. It was as if her body itself feared the one she dared to insult. And yet, even then, Allah's mercy was greater than His wrath. He didn't destroy her. He didn't erase her. He allowed her time. Time to reflect. Time to repent. Time to choose. And that was the real shock, because while the world expected punishment, what they saw was transformation. Not overnight, not easy, but undeniable. She started to write verses from the Qur'an, ones she had never read before, ones she said came to her in dreams. Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Falaq, Surah An-Nas. She asked someone to recite them out loud, again and again. And with each recitation, something inside her shifted. The shadows faded. The screaming stopped. The fire turned to light. And one day, in the silence of her room, with trembling hands raised to the sky, she mouthed the words. When the words that shattered the chains of her ego, Ashadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa Ashadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah, do. She became a Muslim. The same woman who dared to challenge Allah had, before him, now submitted before him. The same tongue that once mocked him now praised him. And what followed was nothing short of miraculous. Her voice returned. Her nightmares vanished. Her eyes that once held pride now carried tears of awe, tears of gratitude when asked why she changed. She simply wrote, "Because I met the truth, and the truth was not afraid to humble me." And the world watched. War. Some mocked her still. Some called it a coincidence. But those who knew those who believed understood exactly what had happened. This was not a punishment. This was a mercy in disguise. Allah did not destroy her, He awakened her. The Qur'an tells us, indeed, with hardship comes ease. And she tasted both, the hardship of arrogance, the ease of surrender, the fire of rebellion, the peace of submission. She went from stages of pride to nights of prayer, from mocking the divine to memorizing his words. And she never stopped warning others. Don't wait until you're silenced to listen. God does next. Don't wait until the signs become punishments. Recognize the truth while your heart still beats freely. Oh. Her story spread, not as a tale of terror, but as a miracle of mercy. And every time someone doubted, every time someone laughed at faith, there would be someone nearby whispering her story, reminding them, warning them, inspiring them, because she dared to challenge Allah in public. And what happened next didn't just shock her, it changed thousands, ending on a soft, reflective note, like a character's transformation or a verse from the Qur'an, invites contemplation. It leaves people in awe, not just informed.